So I was just casually playing Apocalypse Rising 2 in the evening on Wednesday, and suddenly this beautiful man sends me a ASIMO tweet saying he's gonna... oh... Out of literally nowhere, ASIMO logs into Twitter and casually says, "Okay, no more rolling tomorrow." Like, what the f, man? Looking at the like to replies ratio, we can confidently say the community is very split on this change. Some really like it being removed, some are confused about the removal, and some really don't want this feature removed. I first do want to establish my opinion on this. If my tweet wasn't obvious before, I myself am not very happy of this sudden change. However, I do trust ASIMO that this change could simplify the game as a whole, especially for the newer players who have no idea how powerful rolling truly is. But I swear to God, if the same people who demanded rolling to be gone are gonna be later begging ASIMO to add it back, then I'm about to go crazy. It's like, what the f, man? Other than that, this video shall demonstrate to you that A, rolling is a good feature, it's just not been utilized well by its players, and B, how it makes combat more hybrid, interesting, and fluent. If you had issues with the rolling and always blamed it on the feature, then you just suck ass, bro. I'm sorry. This video is gonna go into an explanation why rolling was balanced, and I'm gonna show this with the most quote-unquote most unfair matchups in Jailbreak utilizing rolling. Alright, enough talking. Let's go. Rolling is a very interesting movement feature that most people see as a press the roll button every 5 seconds because it gets me there faster. Which, yes, they're right, but there's more in the rolling feature than you think, and that's only the basic part of it. The most frequent use, like I said before, is being faster at getting from point A to point B. Simple, there's no issues with that. The other frequent use is on the cops team, to get closer to the criminal they want to arrest. There's many ways to interpret this, but the most of the scenario is when a cop pulls out their taser, rolls in, and you're already in jail.
Wow, that's cool.
Oddly enough, I've seen this exact scenario brought up the most in defense of people who want rolling to be removed, because it makes arresting easier. Well, yes, that's true, but there's one issue you forgot. You, yourself, can roll as well. Rolling is a mind game against your opponent that depends on many factors, but the factor I want to talk about is the taser itself. The taser works well with the rolling mechanic, almost like an intended duo. You tase a criminal, roll towards them, and arrest them. Easy. But this works at a certain range. If you get tased too far away and the cop rolls towards you, you can roll away as well, which understandably most criminals will do on their own.
But USB, what if I roll and get arrested anyway?
My friend, you roll towards them, not away. When you get tased, the cop always expects you to go away from them, continuing to hold W and not stopping. But if you roll over them, they get surprised, are forced to change directions, and have to move their screen 180 degrees towards you. As weird as this sounds, this works almost every time. Not many cops will think the criminal will roll behind them, tricking them into a scenario they never had before. Like I said, it's a mind game. Rolling is an evasive tool at your disposal to outmaneuver your enemies.
But USB, what if he tases you again?
If a cop tases you, the taser recharges in 10 whole seconds. This gives you a lot of time to kill the cop or flee away from them, which shouldn't be something to worry about. The second often brought up scenario is being ejected from a vehicle. The criminal rolls away, but the cop rolls towards the criminal as well, and gets an easy arrest. As much as it sounds like a different scenario, this is exactly the same thing as the previous one. Instead of rolling away, you roll over them, to counter their movement which they will take. The only difference between these two scenarios is that in the second one, the cop can use their taser after the cop has already rolled. This is a common counter-argument against people who defend rolling, the fact that even when you yourself roll away, you get tased and arrested. But when you get sent to jail, then it wasn't the game's or the cop's fault. It was your fault the entire time. Being ejected is the last thing you want to happen to you as a criminal, and so you want to avoid that. You have plenty of different vehicles to drive and evade cops with, Plenty of solutions to escape from a cop either by popping their tires or outmaneuvering them, and plenty of tricks to learn and use to get out of a sticky situation. I'll say this again, rolling is an evasive tool. It's not a get out of jail mechanic, but it at least tries to give you an advantage during the most intense fights. The more or less brought up scenario is being suddenly ambushed by a cop that rolls in towards the criminal and arrests them because the criminal doesn't have enough time to react. While yes, for most players this is quite unfair, there are actually counters to this as well. First is the minimap. Guys, please, please for the love of God look at the minimap more often. Every 5 seconds a person on the other team flashes a dot for a split second on the minimap. Looking at it often and figuring out where on that minimap the blue dot is can give you very good situational awareness, especially when out in the open or in a city.
What if I am in prison and the prison is too small? How do I find campers like that?
Simple. Zoom out your camera. Your screen can go far out of your avatar, giving you this small aerial view around. You can use this to your advantage, like looking around corners or looking through windows. Pair this with the minimap and you basically have wall hacks like a cheater. Alright, I've proven wrong 3 of the most often said scenarios where it may seem like the cop always wins, but using the rolling feature yourself for the best performance can allow the criminal to have a nearly equal chance to win. I do want to also point out a few different useful things this rolling feature brought us and allowed combat to be more balanced. Aside from traversing lasers, rolling is good for instant jetpacking and parachuting. It was also very, and I mean very useful for criminals in situations where if the criminal was against a corner and couldn't go anywhere else, they could just roll over the cop, granting them a fighting chance against the officer that was expected to get an easy arrest, but later finds out he's already dead. This technique by itself was very useful inside of buildings like in the bank, the police station, or really any enclosed location. Other than that, yeah, I think I've said enough about the rolling mechanic. It was a great feature to ever touch Jailbreak, but unfortunately, some things have to go eventually. I've been a strong rolling supporter, but because I'm an easily adaptive and optimistic person, I do believe that removing rolling might not be that bad after all. I'm also aware that this video may not influence ASIMO's final decision, so yeah. If you watched the video to the end, then I want to say a huge thank you for watching this video. Making, editing and creating this script took me an entire day, so please, if you can, like and subscribe. I'll be very grateful if you do that. I do also want to thank my good friend P-Void who helped me simulate these scenarios in this video. I'll see you next time. Soon. Trademark. Maybe.